This episode is a little different. You'll listen to a discovery call with Usman, who came to me to improve his accent. You'll get an idea of how a discovery call might work for you, what we'll look for together, and how it can begin to help you. Usman and I talk about affective block, which might also be a problem for you. You'll find out what it is, why it's totally normal, and some first steps that you can take to start to tackle it. I'm Bianca, your personal American accent coach, and I'm here to help you master an American accent in English because your voice is your choice when it comes to how you sound. I try to release a podcast episode every 2 weeks, and so you should really subscribe to whatever podcast platform you use so that you don't miss the newest episode. And by the way, if you want to see the full video of the episode, it's available at Accent Coach Bianca on YouTube. Now, let's get on with the show. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm great. It's wonderful to meet you. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you so much.
This is great. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Watch out. Sorry, that's my cat just coming in to say hello. How should I say your name correctly?
Usman.
Usman. And Usman, tell me a little bit about you. Tell me where you're living at, what you're working on, and how I can help you today.
So, my name is Usman. I am from Pakistan. So, by profession, I am an accountant, or you can say the finance guy, working multinational company in the finance roles. So, really, I want to really improve on the leadership skills, on the communication skills. I like moving up that ladder in the role, progress in my career. So, I'm looking for someone who can really help me and transcend me into that trajectory where I can be a better leader. So, I'm just looking for that, yeah.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, you explained a lot there. I was thinking leadership and communication is what your point is, and you're working in English. What other languages do you speak? You said it's international, so who are you dealing with also?
We are basically a multinational company. So, I come across different cultures, different people from US, UK, Europe, Canada, every part of the world I do. English is not my first language. Local language is Urdu. And I'm very good at English since I'm working from last 10 years in an industry, and so I'm very good with English. But in terms of communicating, like my thoughts to my tongue, my thoughts to my words, I believe there's a gap. I unable to communicate what I intend to communicate. So this is the gap I want to fill in. Other than that, the
Uh-huh.
leadership.
I see. So the communication, there's a gap in the communication. Tell me more about this gap. I'll give you some examples. Obviously, language is not a problem for you, but for some people, it can be a little bit emotional and they can get a little bit blocked depending on who it is they're speaking to. Maybe it's a boss or a certain colleague, or maybe a certain project kind of makes them anxious or nervous. Sometimes there's a block there. That could be a problem in communication. Is it more along the lines of, I have these words in my head, but they're just not coming out? Like the perfect word isn't coming. I can't dig into it. Is it something like that? Is it something like, I'm too busy to kind of think about maybe my intonation or my rhythm or my pronunciation because I'm just too busy trying to communicate these thoughts as well? Tell me more about the problems in the communication that you're having.
So you can't say I'm busy because everyone can find time to improve themselves. What I really think of the first option that you have given, that sometimes I got confused or lost confidence and I lost my words sometimes. So I will go with the option one, that I think that is the major concern for me right now.
That happens a lot. Yeah. It's called affective block. Affective mean how you're feeling can get in the way of the words coming out. The words are in there, but they just get blocked sometimes. And we say there's what we call the 3 P's to that. We say person. It could be the person that I'm talking to that sometimes gives me a block. It could be the project. It could be the thing that we're talking about. It could be a certain project that's making me nervous or that I don't know the vocabulary around or that I'm just sick of talking about. It could be the project or it could be the place. Sometimes I'm totally fine and I walk into a certain room or with certain people into a certain building and I start to lose my language. Sometimes it happens to me, certainly in Spanish, depending on who I'm talking to. Sometimes this person just like the way that they correct me isn't always very kind and so I get a little bit blocked, or it could be a work situation, the dynamics at work, certain people can trigger us. So as you said, sometimes you lose your words. Would you say I can't find the word? Or would you say, I got the word, but I can't remember how to say it correctly, and that kind of influences my confidence? Or maybe something else. Feel free to add to anything I'm suggesting.
So yeah, you talked about three P's, and I think these are the right things. Yeah. So sometimes I'm unconfident or not confident at every place. So when talking of a bunch of people, so my confidence shakes. The person you say that I talk to just senior people, senior executives, then I is feel like I'm less confident while talking to the junior staff or subordinates, my subordinates. So for project and things, I think this is also not a case. So I think it's being a person, not a place, not a project, rather than a person factor is there. Other than you talked about second thing which you talked about. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, the whole idea is called affective block. So I was also saying if there's anything you want to add to that, like you can also add any other suggestions, anything you've noticed about when this happens, because you're speaking to me right now and you sound incredibly fluent, very much able to get your point across. Is that something that you don't have sometimes? This person that I'm seeing now, this fluent person, communicative person, does sometimes that get blocked and just go away suddenly?
So yeah, I'm talking to you. I'm quite fluent. Maybe the reason is that I won't be judged. You neither reward me nor you punish me. So if they say something wrong, you don't punish me. If I say something right, you don't reward. So it's not the case in the corporate environment. So you have to be very picky. You have to be right every single time. There's no option for mistakes, and you make a mistake or a blunder, it costs you. You can say even your career, I think sometimes. So at this point, I want to be at a place where there's no single chance. Like a professional, like when you see a professional, they are hardly to beat on because they have trained their practice and they have skills at that level that even an amateur or beginner can't even think of it. So I want to be at that level where my communication, where when I talk, the inspiration is inherent part of it, my expression is inherent part of it, my ideas are effectively communicated, my message is perfectly delivered. Yeah, what
Very
I intend.
clear, very articulate. I'm picturing what you're saying. I'm trying to put it into words too, in my own words. Like you're basically performing all the time in the corporate world, right? You have to be on stage. It's a performance all the time. Like you said, you're constantly being judged in this high pressure environment. Of course, language is going to get stuck because you're trying so hard. So that's that block. You're trying to squeeze too much out of it. That makes complete sense. And you're describing like where you see yourself, as you said, up there. So I'm hearing that you want to be effortless. You want to be able to do these things accurately, effortlessly. You want things to just come out so you don't have to think about it and that thinking kind of blocks you. Is that what you're describing for your goals?
Exactly. Thinking never blocks my words or thoughts.
Yes, yes. And you want to be able to just come out with everything as perfectly as you want it to every single time. Is that right?
Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay, so here's the question then. I know your goals, I know what you do, I know kind of where you're at right now. What do you think is the real problem then? We talked about this affective block, but really, what's the real problem? Is it that you don't have time to do this project that you want? Is it that you have time but you don't know where to start? Is it, for example, that you don't have time, you don't know where to start, maybe you don't have money to invest in classes? What's actually the problem here? Because it sounds like you know what you need.
So sometimes I feel that I am good at something and there's no problem in communicating. Sometimes I put into the real life situation. So I go to the stage to deliver some message to my teammates. And I feel that I am like less confident. I'm trying and getting cold. I'm sweating. And these are some of the feelings that I have. So it's feel like I'm not in a position where my message is clear or concise or effective, rather than just copy pasting. Like if I have to give a message of one paragraph, I will memorize and I just speak it out and come back. So there's no connection between me and my audience, and I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm getting to hear the heart of the problem because this whole time you've been speaking to me, I don't think I've heard a single mistake. Like you're completely comprehensible. And it seems like you're comfortable, as you said, talking to me. So that block is down now. I mentioned time, I mentioned money, I mentioned knowledge. None of those seem to be a problem for you. Sounds like to me, Usman, the problem is here, it's in your head, And here, maybe in your heart too, right? It's a real fear that people are judging you. People are judging you, right? But that fear, it seems to be blocking you. And then, of course, the failure that you fear is more likely to come true. If I'm getting in my own way, if I'm blocking myself, then yeah, they're not going to see the best of me. So really, it's your fear that's causing the most problem. Would you say that's true? Or maybe part of the problem?
I think this is most of the problem. This is the fear, inner fear. You put it right that I am blocking my own, or I am blocking myself
Yeah, you're
to
in your own
communicate
way.
effectively. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah, some people
yeah.
come to me
So
and I can hear right away, it's, oh, yeah, I can't understand your words. Okay, that's the problem. For some people, you can understand their words, but maybe their intonation is off, so you don't really understand their meaning behind it. That's not true for you. It sounds like it's your fear and it's your confidence. So I think that if you increase your confidence, your fear is going to go down. This is what I'm seeing in you. So how do you increase confidence, right? You want to practice under high stress situations. It seems like when you go in there, it's a high stress situation, but the only practice you get is in the same situation, right? It's at work. So maybe there's a way for you to create a situation and practice feeling under pressure, right? Let me give you an example. So you're at work. I don't know if you do video calls or if everything is in person. Which one is it? Is it audio calls?
both
All
50
those
50. You can
things.
say 50. Yeah.
Okay. One thing that helps people a lot, it's not easy, but it's incredibly effective, is to video yourself, right? I want you to video yourself talking about work. And it doesn't have to be, I'm going to practice this project or this presentation right now. Just get used to you being on camera. Why? Because it's pressure. And it forces you to kind of lose your language a little bit. And then you have to figure out what to do, right? So the more you do that, confidence doesn't just happen. You can't just become more confident. Confidence comes from doing other things more often. It comes from repetition. It comes from putting yourself in that situation. For you, that situation sounds like a stressful pressure situation. So I want to send you something. I've got your email already. I want to send you an email of something, but I want to show you what it is because we don't have a lot of time today, but I do want to show you a quick thing that in your case, it's going to be very helpful. So there's a website that I have for teachers and students, and it's called Flipgrid. You've probably never heard of it before. And then I'm going to give you a special login, and you can record yourself, right? Of course, you could do this on your phone, right? But this is just between teachers and students, and it's just a way that you can keep the video so you don't have to use up your phone like that, right? This is what we're looking at right now. And over here, this is an example of one. I have a friend who was getting married, and he said he needed to practice, right? He needed to practice giving his vows, the thing he's going to say at his wedding. And so what we did here is we created this room for him, and he's able to go in and make as many videos as he wants in here. And it's private, only between me and him. Would it be helpful to you, Usman, if I created a special recording room for you, and you can go in and you can just practice what you need for work, and that will hopefully give you competence and confidence so that when you walk in, you're used to speaking like that, under pressure, right? The idea is to create a pressure environment where you can get better at handling the pressure. Your brain can get better at working with your mouth and handling that pressure. Would that be helpful to you?
Yeah, perfectly. It will be really helpful.
All right.
Yeah.
Perfect. So I'm going to email that to you, and then you can get started on that. And if there's something else that I can help you with, then just let me know, okay?
Yeah, for sure. If there is any, I will let you know shortly. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks for joining me today. Awesome. Okay, so I will talk to you soon then.
Yeah, for sure.
See you,
We can
Usman.
have another session then.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
See you soon.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.
If you found this episode helpful in any way, please subscribe and leave a review. It's actually really helpful to me. Now, before I go, I have 2 tasks for you to do. First, I want you to register and come to my free monthly masterclass. They're on the last Thursday of the month. In just 1 hour, you're going to master a specific American accent skill. For example, the TH sound or rhythm. The Zoom registration link actually changes each month. So the second and maybe more important thing I want to ask you to do is to sign up for my mailing list, because you're going to get the registration link each month, and you're going to get bonus materials before and after the masterclass that I only send to my email list subscribers. The email opt-in link is down in the show notes. Be sure to sign up for my mailing list and come to the monthly masterclass for free. I'm Bianca, your personal American accent coach, and I want you to know that your voice is your choice. Thanks for sticking around to the end of the show. I'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.